Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakadash. Much respect to the brothers that are out there preaching and teaching the truth worldwide across the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and freedom for this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, the house of David, and the Akim and Akwaf that might be listening to this lesson on today. This is your brother Abba Yabah coming through with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And the title of my lesson is, We Must Be Mature in This Truth. Now, maturity is defined as the quality or state of being mature, especially full development. Now, when we talk about full development, we know as when we come into this truth, we're as babes, we're as children. So we have to be able to grow up and mature in this truth in order to do things to make us to be productive and fruitful in it. So when we come in, we're learning things as if we never have picked up a Bible before, because everything that we learned in Christianity or before the truth was either corrupt or it was to the point to where it was not going to allow us to have salvation as we truly desired, because Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai doesn't deal with confusion, and the things that we were learning before this truth was confusing. Even the perception of what we thought of when we thought of Yahweh Shai, or even the prophets, or how Adam and Eve was in the Garden of Eden. A lot of things that we had as far as our mentality, as far as our perception, was off. So when we came into this truth, we were as babes. So we had to truly start from ground up and mature in this truth. So that's why I'm doing this lesson. Those that are coming in have to understand that you have to mature in this. It's not going to be, oh, you have a certain amount of knowledge. No, you have to start over, because that will allow you to accept and absorb everything that you need in order for you to be who you need to be for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, not for yourself, but for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because we are servants. We are being used in order to spread this gospel, the true doctrine, and not the confusion that we had before we came into this truth. So without further ado, I'm going to go into my first scripture, and my first scripture is in 1 Corinthians 13 and 11, and it reads, it says, When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. So, as I said before, when we came into this truth, we were as children, we were as babes. But as we got older, we gained more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and now we're able to stand on our own 2 feet, and we're able to preach and teach. We're able to give the knowledge to those that have questions and need answers as far as coming into this truth. That's what happens when you are being a servant unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You're letting yourself and allowing yourself to be used and do the things that you have been purposed to do. So as we came in, we were as babes, we were as children. We did childish things. You know, it took us that time to learn and get to where we needed to get. But once we became men, we put away those childish things. And when I say we became men, which we did become men in the truth, because that's the only way we can, but as we matured in this truth, we put away those childish things. Now we don't need someone to tell us how to do this. We don't need someone to have us do this particular thing. We do it on our own, because that's our livelihood. This is our life. This is not some things that's been, tossed out as a fad or put forth to just be for a moment. This is our life. Our lifestyle is this truth. 1 Corinthians 14 and 20 reads, it says, Brethren, be not children in understanding, howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men. So we have to be mature when it comes to our understanding. The only thing that we should be as a lower understanding of is when it comes to evil and wickedness and lying and cheating and stealing. But when it comes to this understanding, we need to be men. So we can't be out here doing the wicked things and the carnal things that the people are doing outside of this truth, that don't have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We can't do that. We can't be straddling the fence. We have to understand that Yahweh Shem Yahshua put us here for a reason. He gave us this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for a reason, and we have work to do. So we have to do what a man does. He has to provide, and we have to provide this truth. We have to provide this word out to those that are truly starving and having a thirst for this word. We have to give it to them. That's our reasonable service. So that's what we need to do. And that brings me to Hebrews 5, 12 and 13, 12 through 13, rather. And it reads, it says, for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. So when we've been in this truth for so long, we need to mature and we need to level up and be teachers. But if we're still at a ground level to where we're only just teaching the milk scriptures and only able to understand that milk level, then and the basics, then we're still babes, you know. So it doesn't matter how long you've been in. It's how you study to show yourselves approved. Have you put forth the effort and put forth the time and doing the work and gaining more skill and more understanding to where you can break down more scriptures and in a way to where it doesn't have to be fed to you, that you can eat it on your own as a person that is of an adult and a mature level can do. So we shouldn't still be, after a time, still on the milk, because that means that we haven't leveled up. And we don't want to be as babes still when we've been in the truth for years and years. We want to be able to know how to level, how to get to and maneuver around in this truth, not to level, but to get around and be able to do what we need to do and maneuver around in this truth, because we've gotten to a point to where we're mature enough to know how to do it on our own, and we don't need to be fed the scriptures, and we don't need to have someone just break it down to us all the time. Now, I'm not saying that we never will, because there's elder brothers, there's apostles that are above us, and that will always be, but we need to be at a point to where we're able to teach ourselves and not just have to consistently be taught everything as a babe would. And that brings me to James 1, 22 through 25, and it reads, it says, be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself, and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth that manner of man he was. But who also looketh into the perfect law of liberty, and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. So we need to be doers of the words, not just hearers. So as I was speaking of before, you know, us getting the word from the elders and the apostles and the brothers that came before us, yes, we need to be able to get that word. We need to be able to hear it, but we also need to be doers of that word as well, because we don't want to be hypocrites out here when it comes to us teaching and when it comes to us getting this word and knowing that who we are and who we represent when we're out in the world, we need to be doers of that particular thing. We need to be able to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. We need to be able to fast. We need to be able to follow the Sabbath and everything that is purpose before us. We need to be able to do those particular things and not just be that hearer, because if so, then we're not going to be able to be able to go forth and be mature in this truth like we should and be blessed, because we're going to forget everything, because it's just us hearing but not doing it, not putting it into our daily lives. Like I said, this truth is a lifestyle. This is not about us being flashy or us being, trending or anything of that sort. It's about us doing what Yahweh Shem Yahshua put us here to do. And that's what we're doing. So that means that we're not just hearing, but we're doing it so that we can be blessed in the interim and not just hear it and forget it and walk away as, one that would just glance into the mirror. That's what you do if you're just a hearer. You're just going to hear it and then forget it. But if you're doing it, if you're putting it into your daily life, then you're going to remember it, and then you're going to allow it to put you in a place to where Yahweh Shem Yahshua can use you, and you'll be blessed by doing the things that you're putting into place with your daily life. And that brings me to my end of scripture, which is in Proverbs 9:9. And it reads, it says, give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. So we have to be wise. We have to be wise to know that we need to level up daily. We need to be more mature as to get this word, do this word, put it into our daily lives. And we need to make sure that we're understanding that we need to be teachers at a certain point. Not just come in thinking that we're going to be teachers, but we have to be teachers at a certain point, and we have to be able to not be basic. We have to be able to break down the scriptures as we should. And like it says here, if it gives instruction to a man, he's going to become wiser. So if we're those particular men that are mature, then we're going to be wiser. And if we're being taught, and we're righteous, then we're going to learn ever the more. So we want to be those righteous men. We don't want to be carnal men. We don't want to be men that are 2/3. We want to be the men that of the elect, of the hopeful elect, and that are doing this work and that are putting in work each and every day. Therefore, those that are listening, those that are wanting this truth can receive it from us, as well as, us teachers to the other brothers that are coming in. So with that being said, that is the conclusion of my lesson. We should be, and we must be mature in this truth, because that's what's going to get us to where we need to be. And as always, I give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. And until my next lesson, Shalom.